My girlfriend didn't believe me when I told her about morning wood. What things might we not know about the opposite sex? She thought I was bullshitting when I said that I, and every normal man on the planet, has woken up sporting a boner every night since puberty. Looking it up blew her mind. Also, until quite recently I didn't know the pill has to be taken every day for it to work. Men, women, reveal your secrets. A friend of mine in high school thought that the string on a tampon was like a ripcord. Girls kind of get it started, pull the cord, and the tampon shoots into them and expand like an inflatable raft. Holy shit, that would be terrifying. It's normal if one hangs lower than the other. This one could go either way. This is actually the norm. It stops them from getting banged up when we are running. The more you know. I was so scared to click that link, but you still did. I like that. Confronting your own fears and thus overcoming them. My husband actually thought that the wings on pads were there to be stuck to the insides of my legs. They are to stick to your underwear, gentlemen. If your partner rarely initiates sex, it may not be that she has a low sex drive. She may have a different type of sex drive. It's pretty common in women to have responsive sexual desire instead of spontaneous sexual desire. Here's a good explanation of it by a health educator, Dr. Nagoski, whose blog, The Dirty Normal, is pretty fascinating. The TLD version is that spontaneous desire is when someone randomly feels the desire to have sex, while responsive desire is when someone doesn't really have sexual feelings until they put themselves into a sexual situation. So maybe a woman won't really feel like having sex until she and her partner start touching and kissing each other, at which points she starts getting into a sexual mindset and feeling turned on. I said she in this post because it's especially common in women, but anyone can have a responsive sex drive. And many women can have spontaneous sex drives as well. Edit, there are some replies saying this justifies rape. Rape is not a sexual situation for the victim. It's terrifying. It's not going to activate somebody's responsive sex drive. Pressuring your partner for sex is also going to turn them off, which is addressed in the article. Also, I said TL, because I was summarizing the article I linked, not summarizing the beginning of the post I made. Aha! I always wondered with some girls why I am always the one who initiates things. But then they seem to be really into it. This explains everything. Vaginas clean themselves constantly. Every now and then, you will see discharge in my knickers. If it looks slightly yellow to you, it's not pee. It's never pee. Pee does not dry that way anyway. And if it's wider, 'cause I've got darker undies on. That's not necessarily an indication that I have been raring to go for ages. I had been with my girlfriend for about 2 years sexually active too when she became surprised that I only had one scrotum. She thought each ball had its own little scrot. There was a post about this from a med student somewhere who remarked in some practice session, "Oh, he has a fused scrotum." Interesting. To her whole class, ladies, an erection is not everlasting. If you want to have sex, don't tease a man for 3 hours and then wonder why we go soft. Oh God, yes, this is quite frustrating. Why aren't you hard right now? I'm naked in bed with you. Make your move. Woman, when we get our period, it doesn't mean that we have blood gushing out like a stream. It comes out intermittently throughout the day and pads or tampons absorb it. And it feels so fucking weird. I'll stop mid-sentence with my boyfriend when it happens. Gaha. That feeling when you stand up in the morning. And waddle to the bathroom as fast as you fucking can. And of course, oh God, I don't want to ruin these pajamas. Shit as you're waddling over. Oh God, I remember the first time I sneezed on my period. I thought a fetus came out or something. The dreaded double stream. You mean when you, as a guy, are taking a piss and the hole is stuck together so the pee goes everywhere? Man, I hate it when that happens. One time the steam split and one steam went on my foot and the other on the wall. Irene, why am I peeing like I just had sex last night? Oh man, one time in college I woke up with some terrible morning wood. I mean, I was stiff as shit and had to pee so badly. I headed to the stall, no urinals. And to get it pointed down, I had to lean against the back wall while pushing down with my hand. If that wasn't bad enough, my stream came out in not 2, but 3 directions. Pee. Everywhere. Some other ideas, slightly NSFW. I do the first one. Every damn morning. Edit, I dropped my Y. A lot of us girls get extremely horny during our periods. My wife wants nothing to do with sex while on her period. Her favorite activities during this time are curling up into a ball on the couch and hating me. Hey, my favorite activity while my fiancée is on her period is also to curl up into a ball on the couch. Yes, and it sucks sometimes. You're extremely horny, feel like shit. It's nature's cruelest gift to women. Here why I go, ladies. For the next 4 days, you will have the sexual urges of a teenage boy, but you will bloat up like a balloon and have the emotional stability of a psychopath. Oh, and if that wasn't enough to scare all decent men away, you will also have blood oozing out of you. Enjoy. Shrinkage. I was in the pool. It shrinks. Oh yeah, like a scared turtle. My man actually got into an argument with another Redditor, presumably a woman, about balls. She contended that since labial tissue is equivalent to scrotal tissue, it hurts women just as much to be kicked in the crotch. I had to patiently explain to her that nut and nutsack aren't anywhere close to the same thing. Edit, just to clear things up, I'm certain that getting kicked in the crotch can hurt a lot, regardless of gender. I just took issue with her reasoning. Balls ovaries, not labia. Here's one for the ladies: never judge a man by his flaccid size. As a grower, not a shower, I am more than double when excited. Edit, about 4x is more accurate. Shouldn't have rushed that statement like that. Also, holy shit, by far my most upvoted comment ever. Great, my biggest contribution to Reddit is regarding fluctuations in penis size. Same here. Flaccid, I'm on the level of a 9-year-old with an estrogen overdose. Men, fingering is not like golf. You don't always just go for the hole. My God. You'd think some of you are drilling for oil. I drill for oil and the surrounding ecosystem is completely devastated. Pissing for guys isn't as easy as aiming and shooting. The splash radius is like an electron probability cloud. Air resistance breaks up the stream into fine invisible mist. Sometimes it even breaks up into 2 streams. This is called viper piss, or casually as viping. Getting the viper within the target zone takes decades to master, by which time your prostate is starting to act up and causing challenges of its own. The splash radius is like an electron probability cloud. It's very common for women to poop during childbirth. I'm sorry. You mean, I had a twin brother? 90 of all childbirths are accompanied by an accidental dookie, Bob Kelso. MD. Family and friends will all be staring intently at your vagina, which, by the way, has an 80 chance of tearing. Okay, I've read this twice and I seriously need clarification on which definition of tearing is being used. The kind you would also apply to paper. And also pee. And sometimes the baby poops in utero, and that comes out too. Sorry, my girlfriend is a midwife. I know all the dirty lady secrets. When my sister was in labor, she had awful gas. She was really embarrassed until a nurse came in and told her of a girl who peed clear across the room every time she had a contraction. They wheeled her bed a few feet to the left and stuck the landing into the sink every time. I had to inform my male friends out junior year of high school that girls have 3 holes and do not pee out of their vagina. There are some guys who still don't know about discharge, so it's awkward explaining it. But also, a thing that some guys don't know about their own bodies is that certain foods make their semen taste differently. But then again, they aren't the ones tasting it. I guess, semi-relevant, I've been eating pineapple with every meal on this deployment. All said and done, I will have been eating pineapple 3x a day every day for 6 months straight. I'm going to test this pineapple theory. Still working out a way of asking. So, how did my load taste? Sweeter than usual? Without seeming super weird. The pill, not just every day at the same time. Depends on the specific formulation. But yeah, most have to be taken within as narrow a window as possible. Widest I've seen is only a couple of hours. Also, it has a funnier name in German. After I finish, my dick can feel like it's covered in a dust of 1 million diamond shards. Please stop playing with it. Same goes for the clit. Do not stick your penis back into the vagina after anal. Just don't. Please. I didn't know women had to wipe after they peed too, until I was 21 and living with female roommates. I got really mad that we were going through toilet paper so fast, and they just laughed at me for it. Pee shivers. They are real no matter what my girlfriend says. For most girls, one boob is bigger than the other. My lefty's my bestie. Same deal with our balls. Same side for me. Everyone with a sexual partner should just get naked together and explore each other's bodies and ask questions like a 2-year-old. What's that? How does that work? Problem is, it seems some people don't even know about their own shit. If you put your ear up to a woman's vagina, you can actually hear her saying, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" I read ear as rear and laughed so hard I drooled on myself. Random boners can spring up anywhere regardless of the situation. The challenge all males face is hiding them. I don't know if my sex drive just decreased or something, but my random boners pretty much went away after my teenage years. I kind of miss them. Actually, I thought it would stop happening after puberty. It didn't stop happening. Nothing like the good ol' waistband tuck. Until a couple years ago, I thought all guys only cuddled as a precursor to sex. It's more like, once you're all cuddled up close to someone, especially someone you're attracted to, sex just pretty much always seems like a good idea. Imagine going to a burger place to have a meeting, but then once you're there, and you can smell those delicious burgers cooking, it just seems silly not to get one. And hell, you weren't even hungry when you walked in. As a guy, I can guarantee you we enjoy our cuddles without it being a precursor to sex, though sex is an added bonus. Hey yeah, sometimes we just like to cuddle. Hey, no, that's not a boner. During blowjobs, do not blow. When I first blew my virgin ex-boyfriend, he got confused as to why I was sucking and not blowing. But this man had porn all over his laptop. I was the one confused. Since he was so adamant about it, I actually blew him. He wasn't satisfied. He was an idiot. They should be called suck jobs. But then people would assume that they always suck. Maybe just great jobs? Help. I need someone to determine a more appropriate parlance. What actually happens if you blow during a blowjob? More people need to know the difference between a shower and a grower. Grower, a man with a small, flaccid penis that becomes much larger when erect. Shower, a bathroom fixture for cleaning oneself. Hope that explanation helps. Some people aren't growers or show ERS. Some people are just small. Men and women actually have the exact same number of ribs. Sounds like someone needs a Bible study. I know my girlfriend was surprised to learn it is the testicles that causes so much pain when they're hit, not the penis. 20. Don't hit the penis either. I, and every normal man on the planet, has woken up sporting a boner every night since puberty. Yeah, nah, it happens. But it's not an everyday thing. I got kinda worried then. It's an uncommon occurrence for me. I'm an every morning guy. Some days it's gone in a few seconds, others a few minutes. It was the case for a long time, though the op might still be in high school. Girls are at their sexual peak each month on ovulation. Okay, I have a relevant question. I had an ex that right before her period, her boobs would get a little bigger and feel fuller. Is that like every girl, or was that just a perk she had? I would call it the magic day cause I knew I only had about a day left before access was denied. Girls don't seem to understand shrinkage. Yes, when it's cold the goods shrink. I don't know how you guys walk around with one of those things. Sometimes girls queef getting out of bed. Judging from my experience, this is both mortifying for the girl and highly amusing for the guy. I knew a girl who could do that on command. I called bullshit. I learned a lot about the world that day. Men have an empty box where they really can be thinking about absolutely nothing. When you ask a man who is currently in this thought box, "What are you thinking?" and we say nothing, we actually mean it. If we hesitate in answering, it's because we're frantically thinking of a box to jump to so you don't think we're lying. Alternatively, it's because "I wonder what it'd be like to be a ninja" doesn't seem like the right answer. Or we're thinking about something girls think was colossally stupid. Like how cool it would be to drive a monster truck up those steps right there. Women do this too, but if anyone asks me what I'm thinking, I always answer either bears or candy. Toxic shock syndrome. They teach you in school to quickly recognize signs of meningitis, but I don't think many guys are aware of TSS. It mostly affects women. A contributing factor: tampon use, especially if a tampon is worn for a longer period of time than is recommended. TSS causes very rapid degeneration of the patient, usually first a rash, then confusion, vomiting, diarrhea, loss of consciousness, multiple organ failure, and death. Everyone should be able to recognize their signs and act quickly. This disease can kill within a couple of days. So long as tampons are switched regularly, the risk is very small, but if your girlfriend is on her period and starts showing these symptoms, you should consider it. TSS. It can be fairly easy to forget about a tampon, especially when at the end of your period. The fact that TSS produces confusion stupornus means that sometimes the sufferer may not be in a state to realize it is TSS. Remember the tampon. If your girlfriend, mother, whoever shows TSS symptoms, it's as important that the tampon is removed as soon as possible, and then the patient is taken straight to hospital. The bacteria can still cause death after the original source of infection is removed. I heard their periods attract bears. They can smell the menstruation. My girl thought sperm just oozed out like piss, and all at once. Boy, was she in for a surprise. Your piss oozes out. You, sir, have some urinary problem. Some men don't ejaculate with much force, so their semen does just ooze out, although I can't say I've ever heard of the same happening with piss. Spermicidal condoms increase chance of girls getting UTIs and yeast infections, as can flavored condoms. Never have vaginal or anal sex with flavored condoms. Those are for oral sex only. If you want to do both oral and vaginal or anal, switch to a non-flavored condom after oral. It seems that a lot of guys don't know that period blood is not fluid, pink blood like when you cut or scratch yourself. It's the lining of your uterus shedding. It's thick, gooey, dark brown towards the end, and there's chunks. Also, the fact that it smells just like raw steak definitely turned me off red meat. I think everyone's period blood smells differently because mine certainly does not smell like red meat. I had to explain this to my boyfriend a few days ago. It wasn't something I would like to repeat anytime soon, but the look on his face was priceless. It's the smell of iron and newspapers, not steak. WTF? You have pink blood? Yes, trying to explain on the brown day that it is normal and you don't have an infection and you're not dying. Also, tomorrow we can finally have sex again. Aren't you excited? Blue balls. Most girls will not believe you. That actually hurts as hell. Blue balls are evolution kicking you in the nuts for fucking up your chance. My girlfriend didn't believe in blue balls either. To be fair though, she thought that it meant them actually turning bright blue. Blue balls. Not everyone gets them. Oh, why? I would compare it to the level of physical discomfort from muscle cramping and soreness the day after running a marathon, except focused around your lower gut and balls. And to respond to just jerk off until it fades. Trying to jerk off would be like trying to fix sunburn by slapping it. Seriously, it hurts to touch around there. It hurts. Bad. You feel like someone just stepped on your balls. After reading most of these comments, I'm beginning to think that most of the people who call someone a douche have no idea what a douche actually is. That sensation a man feels urinating post-coitus. This thread is fucking hilarious. A boner doesn't mean you're turned on, especially throughout teenage years. Just 'cause the little fella stands up, doesn't mean he wants to say hi. My 18-year-old male friend, up until I corrected him recently, thought that when girls showered they cleaned out their whole vagina. I was like, there was just so many problems with that statement. Although I pointed out that most, especially younger children, women barely even knew where their vagina is, breaking your hymen and standing upside down in the shower to get water in there just isn't worth it. Also, you'd need pap smear clips or something. I don't even know, man. Eventually, I told him it was like he said people clean out the inside of their assholes in the shower and asked him how he did it. This was an epic missed opportunity to troll your asinine friend. You should have told him that girls vacuum out their vaginas once a week and go to a spa once a year to do a thorough spring cleaning. Ladies, there are two types of penises, showers and growers. Showers look close to max size all the time, even when not hard. Growers vary wildly when not in use and, when aroused, expand like those little magic pills that turn into foam animals when dropped into water. TLDR, many penises look small until activated. Don't judge until you've seen it in action, because they can expand to 5 times their inert size. Also, the lesser-known morning wood. It tends to make funerals a little more awkward than they should be. I recently learned that men either dress left or dress right, meaning that their penis hangs either to the left or to the right, and fancy pants have to be adjusted accordingly. I have heard these terms before, but thought they meant which pant leg they put on first, or something. I guess I never thought it through. As a guy, here's something I didn't know until my wife told me. Every 5th pregnancy ends with a miscarriage within the first 12 weeks. You read that right, 1 in 5 pregnancies. There appears to be an unwritten rule among women that they never tell anyone except their doctor. And so, but not even their very best friend, that they are pregnant before the 12th week is over. And you never ask if anyone is pregnant, especially not if you suspect they'd have to lie to your face. Also, don't tell anyone else that you suspect. So, a new rule for you guys: never ask a woman if she is pregnant. If she wants people to know, you will know, and if that doesn't want anyone to know, she will hate you for asking. And if it is very obvious by the size of her belly, it would be a stupid question anyway. 1 in 5, not every 5th. And yes, the 3-month rule. Every 5th pregnancy ends with a miscarriage within the first 12 weeks. You read that right, 1 in 5 pregnancies. Actually, I read that wrong. I thought you meant that every woman is guaranteed a miscarriage after 4 successful pregnancies. I would never ask a woman if she was pregnant for the fear that she is simply fat. Actually, it's more like a quarter to half. The ones that miscarry after just a couple of weeks are often mistaken for a late or skipped period. Seeing as there are inexperienced guys in here and I am old. Guys, start keeping those plastic grocery bags and use them to line as and insert the little bathroom trash can that you are supposed to have if you have women in your life. The women appreciate having a place other than their purse to put used sanitary napkins, panty liners, sometimes tampons, and all related wrapping material. Of course, this means, guys, that you are expected to throw out that trash often and quickly. You can't wait until the bag is full before changing it. It has stuff that needs to be removed from the house in a reasonable period of time. Handle your business like a boss. Edit: okay, it wasn't clear enough that this post is directed to bachelors who are so inexperienced sedentary that they may not even have a bathroom bin for guests. Yes, shocking, I know. This is not a personal post to you and you're live in Rheumatoid for Fesimetrim. That is a different scenario. You're not being cast as a pussy-whipped bathroom attendant. This is about making your digs female-friendly. Nothing hose down, pimps up about it. We have one of these in our bathroom. There's 3 girls and 2 guys including me. One of the guys and we all attend university. Now me and the other guy know what the bin is for, and if we are cleaning the bathroom or checking it isn't grim, we will sort that bin out. That's fine. We can handle that. What me and my friend don't understand is when we get shouted at for not emptying it. Me and him have never used this bin, so why should we be told to empty it? We thought that we were just emptying it out of common courtesy, not because it is expected of us. Reasonable period of time. I see what you did there. Girls have separate holes for peeing and having sex. My boyfriend still doesn't believe me. I even knew this one kid who thought girls did one too. And sex out of the same place. A girl I knew thought that when men came, the penis would just flap like a loose garden hose. If you don't wipe after you pee, and you're to get a blowjob, we can taste it. Old piss. Yours. It's pretty gross. Especially if you're uncircumcised. It just stews in there. Anyway, yay? Please wipe. Or even better, buy a pack of baby wipes and use those if you might be getting laid. A gentleman gives himself a bit of a wash before a blowjob, if at all practicable. Guy here, but I'm curious to see other women weigh in on this. As it came up in conversation recently. According to my fuck buddy, she's met multiple women who do this. Some women masturbate to sex scenes from movies as opposed to porn, because there's more of a story, mood, and tone to it. Edit: I'm kind of surprised at the response. I made fun of my fuck buddy thinking it was abnormal. I'll admit I was completely wrong. She'll be happy to hear this. I think it depends on the person and the type of stimulation they prefer. It's probably not just women, either. Edit: I accidentally a word. Hell, I tend to do this and I'm a guy. That production value is sexy. Absolutely. Porn does absolutely nothing for me and usually just makes me feel vaguely violated. Movie sex, on the other hand, hot. Erotic novels are more popular with women for the same reason. Comment 10.136. Thanks for reading. Up until recently, I thought that guys wiped when they peed. Until like 5 minutes ago for me. Guy here. I do. Everyone gets a little seepage after the fact, and I prefer to not have that end up in my boxes. After a long day of work, I like nothing more than taking off my jeans and ARSing around in boxers and a singlet, but I have housemates to consider and prefer not to smell of piss. Many would say that's over the top. Perhaps that's true, but if I've got to fall to one extreme or the other, I'll take OCD over smelling like a urinal. I don't wipe per SE. I just sort of dab the tip with a square of TP so I don't get any pee droplets on my underwear. I do. I'm not circumcised, so I find it cleaner to do so. If I use a urinal, it isn't a huge problem though. It's mostly something I do when I have my pajama pants on without underpants, or am going commando for whatever reason. Not all women's nipples get hard when they're aroused, and to that end, nipples can shrink from being cold the same way guys' dicks can. Birth control needs to be taken every day and at the same time every day. For some or a lot of women, periods are not just bleeding and the occasional cramp. It's more like the feeling that someone ripped your abdomen apart with a rusty steak knife accompanied by having to take a shit every hour. Females, or at least, me, get something like blue balls when they're horny and can't have sex. The walls of the vagina start to ache really bad. It's not too painful, but at the same time, it isn't pleasant. I don't know. It might be just me. Some guys still don't understand what it actually means for a woman to squirt. It's not pee. It's a lubricating fluid released from the Skene's gland, much like the fluid produced by the male prostate that makes up 20-30 of the volume of their semen. The gland needs to be stimulated to make her to squirt. While I'm on the topic, many people claim that all women can squirt. That's not true either. Skene's glands are relatively inconsistent in their anatomy among different women, and in some extreme cases, are not apparent at all. Some people postulate that they are also responsible for the G-spot orgasm, and their varied anatomy could be responsible for the absence of penetrative orgasms in many women. Edit: I was wrong about internal stimulation being a requirement. From the responses I've received, it looks like some women are capable of reaching an ejaculatory orgasm with clitoral stimulation alone. Sometimes guys can have pre-cum discharge in their undies by the end of the day. I had to defend against that once. Are you having sex and cheating on me? What the fuck? Listen, you have stains on your underwear. Yeah, that was a fun one. Dudes get wet too. Men with foreskins can hold the end of their foreskin when they piss so that it fills up like a mini balloon. Not all boners are from sexual thoughts. Some are really just random. In health class, sophomore year in high school, we actually were taught that guys aren't able to pee while erect, which is completely false. My wife was taught this at her school as well, both public schools. We can piss while erect, we just can't get the piss to all go into the toilet. Not completely. There are enough guys who can't. I'm one of them. Now if I force like hell, it hurts, and as it gets a bit softer, it will slowly start. But when fully at attention, not a dribble is coming out. We had a huge fight over this in our class because all the females said if the book says it can't happen, and so one kid whipped his out and got aroused, then pissed on the floor. To this day, I don't understand how he didn't get expelled for it. I remember being taught this as well. And of course, I knew it was false also. It's actually because when a man is really aroused, not just erect, there is some P valve ureter that closes in preparation for semen to flow. At this point, we're unable to pee. It pretty much only closes as you get really close to climax. I don't know about you guys, but no matter how much I've had to drink, I've never had to stop and go take a piss near the moment of climax. Till the average age of Redditors is 15. In a lot of places, first world countries included, sex is so taboo that people can go well into adulthood not know basic facts that they should have learned in sex ed. My sister had a girl in her university class who thought she could get pregnant from masturbating. Seriously? Either that or very inexperienced. Be them male or female. You get a feel for age groups through the upvotes. The older group sitting at the top with their vast knowledge of themselves and the opposite sex. The bottom full of young'uns talking about random boners and breast size. This is like a sex ed class. Wait, you're just now learning this? My boyfriend didn't know that girls wipe every time after using the bathroom. I just wanted to chime in and say this entire Reddit is fucking comedy gold. I'm bawling out tears in the office and I'm being stared at and I can't even let them in on the convo. Guys, yeah, sometimes we wake up with an erection. Girl, you've got to watch out for the brown discharge, the red discharge, the translucent shit. We have several holes. A couple we hide. We use tampons and carry them around. Tits aren't always equal either. Some guys are growers, not showers. If you look at a dick, you can see it twitch along with the heartbeat. Women need to pee after sex in order to avoid having a UTI. Also, women get yeast infections. Pretty much everyone has had one. Whether we notice or not, we get them. If we haven't gotten one, we will get one. It doesn't necessarily need to be because of poor hygiene either. For a lady to shave her privates is a lot harder than it seems. Everything is like In between the legs. Imagine having to shave something at the opposite end of your body, not being able to see it, and having the razor really close to very delicate parts. So fun. In response to the overwhelming number of people posting about sexual problems, I have one question. Do you not talk to your partners? Women, especially those who are not on birth control, typically have mid-cycle pain, i.e., halfway between their periods. This pain has a name, Mittelschmerz. It can be used for women to figure out they are most fertile. Do all women know how to do the towel thing where they wrap up their hair after a shower? Is it genetic memory or instinct, or secretly passed down from generation to generation? The people I find funny are those that have no idea about their own anatomy. Usually this is women that have next to no idea how their reproductive system works other than, maybe, they will know that sex creates babies. My girlfriend tells me most of the younger people at her various, less than stellar jobs say a lot of things. When people start talking about babies, that lets her know they have no clue. Most women I've talked to have no idea that their urethra is a separate hole. I met a girl that was convinced you could kick someone in the snatch hard enough to give her a period. I said you might damage her vagina and make that bleed, but that's different. She responded with, "That's the same thing, isn't it? A dick will super glue itself to a bedsheet after sex? Great. Now I feel like a freak for not getting morning wood very often. I usually just smile and nod whenever people mention it. Yes, that happens all the time, annoying. Yes, accompanied by shifty eyes. Sometimes I just want to masturbate. It has nothing to do with you. I still love you and love our hot sexing. Please don't take offense. Guys can cry in movies, but please don't make fun of us for being emotional at a time that you are not asking us to, because then there will be a time where you want us to feel what you feel and we won't because we are scared that we will be made fun of. We don't pee out of our vagina. I asked a guy friend once where his uterus is as a joke, but in a serious tone. And he replied, same place every guy's uterus is, while another guy pointed to the general stomach area. I learned some guys don't know they don't have a uterus. Please don't ask a guy why our penis isn't getting hard with a consonetta sopranagidodrodopera look on your face. This will almost certainly guarantee that it won't. To girls giving hand jobs, do not try to compete with what we do. Do not attempt simply putting your hand around our penis and moving it quickly. This will hurt without the proper technique. The friction does not feel good. With women and their soft hands, we prefer it gentler and slower, like a massage. Once you get the hang of it, try going faster. But don't yank, goddammit. I hate it when girls try to jerk me off like they're in a hurry. Only I can do that with prestige. The Gelgamek vagina is 3 feet wide and filled with razor-sharp teeth. Women aren't always focused on cleanliness in the shower. Detachable shower heads are a good thing. If this thread had been my sex ed class, I could have avoided so many awkward situations. Sometimes, depending on how you position yourself, your balls can go up into your abdomen, like right up where your pubes are, leaving an empty sack until you right yourself or push them back down. Always fills me with a sense of panic. Girls actually do poop. Another thing I'd like to know. What's more common among men, circumcised penises or uncircumcised? Up until now, I always thought that uncircumcised was most common. For a long time. I didn't know there was an option to have one's foreskin chopped off, and when I found out, I was told it was only Jewish people. But it seems like now I see so many people talking about it and saying that uncircumcised penises are gross or whatever, and it's left me pretty confused. And on the subject, how do you FAP without a foreskin? I feel so stupid right now. Planking was invented by a man trying to piss with an erection. Everyone has smegma. Men, women, intersex people, everyone. This is not true for most circumcised penises, as there's no flap there to curdle the semen discharge. I, for one, have never had smegma in my life. Vaginas stay constantly wet, like mouths, blood clots. I won't say more. It is possible, when pissing hard, to defy physics with your urine, as in the stream comes out, splits about 2 inches from the hole, then both halves come back together and form an oval of emptiness in the stream. Guys, there are different shapes of boobs and nipples. You act like I've never been on the internet. And some of them are pencil erasers with tattooed aureolas. I can assure the internet had made us all experts on this matter. Some are heart-shaped, NSFW. Guys, no more menstruation jokes. Period. Or realer hair. Enough said. I take it you and your girlfriend don't wake up together? My wife knows all about morning wood because I sometimes give her a little poke. The first time a boyfriend asked to grab my chest, the poor guy thought I'd slap him. I like my boobs being grabbed. That shit turns me on. Edit, I word. When I first felt a girl up, I was so inexperienced, I still am. I was caressing and being gentle. Then she's like, they're not balloons. You can be rough with them. Honest question, is this the case with most girls? You guys are just precious. I've read enough of these threads to the point it's ingrained in me that humans are made in two styles, the simple, basic version man and the deluxe version with all the bells and whistles woman. The belt tuck is a maneuver learned and perfected by boys around age 14. Guys are able to feel a girl's breasts when she hugs them. Well, it looks like we've covered most of the biological and anatomical bases here. How about a tangent towards the psychological? Now, this is only based on my experience, which has been very positive, so let me know if you think I'm off the mark. Ladies, when you are detailing certain problems to your male friend lover, be aware that his natural tendency will be to formulate potential solutions for you. He thinks this will make you happy, so don't be upset by this. If it occurs to you to mention it before you start the conversation, you might get his undivided attention, since the problem-solving functions will be off the back burner. Men, be aware that this is rarely what she wants from you. Generally, unless she says so, she wants you to listen and empathize. If in doubt, clarify first whether she wants your input on the solution. If and when she does want your input, don't be offended if she doesn't choose to follow it. Some things that seem right to men don't work for the ladies.